Hello guys and welcome back to another video on my channel. Now today's video is another episode of Talk of the Hatters. We will be talking about our defeat against Huddersfield on Monday night. We will talk about Clark and Berry and how important they are to the Luton team, and also our next game against Nottingham Forest. So let's start off with the Huddersfield game. Now it wasn't the best of performances in my eyes, and I didn't think Huddersfield was special. Just like in the first game which we played against them this season, they didn't really have too much to offer, and I felt in the game on Monday we just gifted them two really easy goals. Obviously the first goal, it came from not marking a player from a throw-in. Potts and Snodgrass not, organising themselves who's getting what player. Literally as Potts came on the pitch, you would have thought you'd be a little bit vocal and just go like, "Hey, Snodgrass, that's your man." Something. He was watching it, but Snodgrass himself, he needs to do better there as well. And to be fair, it was a good quality finish, and I think it would have outdone a lot of goalkeepers. It was one of those balls where you don't know if he's going to cross it, you don't know if he's going to shoot. Shea was a bit slow, but I just think he was beaten anyway. I think it was just the surprise of a player doing that is what beat Shea. The second goal, not marking a 6'6" like defender at the back post is just a terrible decision. Even if Amari Bell was there, getting Bell to mark a tall defender, it's not ideal. And yeah, it was just two gifted goals which we gave away. For us, we had a penalty, a good opportunity for us to score. Unfortunately, Elijah, who just didn't look like he had a bit of confidence throughout the game, maybe he was just frustrated, he always puts a lot of pressure on himself, which I don't think he should do. I know it's good actually to have when you want to always be the best. However, it's not good when, it actually affects your own performance. And the penalty wasn't obviously the best of penalties. It hit the post. And then obviously what happened after with Naismith barging that Huddersfield player. The Huddersfield player was being absolute, giving it bantering with Elijah, It's not ideal. You don't want a player doing that after you've just missed a penalty, but Naismith wasn't having any of it and just puts him to the floor. And he's lucky it's not a red. Honestly, he's lucky it's not a red. A push is a push, a normal push, but that was more than a push. That was, I'm gonna flipping kill you, and then he put him to the floor. That's what it was. And Naismith's very lucky that it wasn't a red, because it could have been a red. I think if it was on the other foot, I think we would be asking for a red card. I really do think so. So, I guess we got lucky there. But overall, the performance, like I said, I didn't think Huddersfield were anything special in the game, and somehow they've come away with 3 points. That's all it was. I don't think we tested the keeper that much. I don't think Shea even got tested that much either. So it was a little bit frustrating, but, we move on. And hopefully that was a reality check to come on, let's, step up now. Nathan said it after the game that this could be the best thing that happens to us. So fingers crossed that maybe is the case, and we move to the Forest game and get a surprise result, because no one expects us to get points on Forest this weekend. Forest are the informed team in the league. But before we talk about Forest, we need certain players back from injury to help us make sure that we can be as strong as possible against Nottingham Forest on Friday. 4 players that are coming back into the side. Well, they've been pictured around training, and that is Lockyer, Burke, Clark and Berry. Those players look like they're coming back into training, which is great. We need them. We need them on the weekend. We need them to play against Forest. Especially Clark and Berry. Clark and Berry are the ones that create chances from midfield. I think without those 2 players in the side, we really are not the best team going forward. And for some weird reason, Clark's had a lot of injuries. Berry has been quite frequent with injuries this season, which has been quite unlucky for us. In fact, this season we have been unlucky. A lot of people are not going to like what I'm going to say here, but we ain't a Bournemouth in terms of injuries. If Bournemouth have the same amount of injuries as what we have, they have lots of quality and depth to replace those players with injuries. We don't. We lose Berry and Clark. We struggle going forward for a couple of weeks. Yes, some weeks we can probably get away with it. We may tweak a few things. But you definitely realise that these two players are not in the side. If Elijah's not in the team, you notice it. You know, it's players like that who, for clubs like us, are so damn important. And when you have them missing for, quite frequently throughout the season, it can be damaging. And maybe that's something which we have to look at for next season. Maybe bringing in someone who can do that type of role. But going forward, we need to improve. We need to be testing goalkeepers, because the last two games I don't think we've done enough. And that's because I feel like maybe the system, but we are getting into those positions to create those chances. So I don't think it is the positions, the system which we are playing. I think it's just the personnel. I think we're just lacking that, those types of players in the side, and we really do need Berry and Clark back in that Luton team. And if they do start or get some minutes, I can see us doing a good job against Forest. Now, we don't normally turn up against teams and they thrash us, especially when we're playing against teams that are in form. Now, Forest, they are in form. They're playing extremely well. We all know that. However, form sometimes does end, and hopefully it does end on Friday. It is on Sky again. Not ideal for us because we don't really have the best of records on Sky, although we did beat Bournemouth on Sky, so fingers crossed we can do that. And hopefully it is another repeat of Bournemouth. I feel like when we're on the front foot, we start the game strong. We are normally the better side. Forest, that squad which they've got, I said it at the start of the season when they have Houghton in charge. I said that squad's good enough to get promoted. And I thought they would be up there. And obviously now, Cooper, since he's obviously arrived at Forest, he's made them a really good side. He's managed to get the best out of the players, which Houghton wasn't able to do. And he's also brought in a few players in January, which has improved Forest massively. That squad which they've got, it's got experience, it's got goal threat, it's got exciting young players, it has a good solid goalkeeper, it has pretty much everything it needs to actually win promotion from the Championship to the Prem. It just needed that right man to steer the ship and get them over that line. And I feel like they now have that. Cooper's a fantastic manager. He's done a great job at Swansea under literally no budget. And you look at how Russell Martin's doing now, who is a good manager who plays attractive football, but he can't get as good of results as what Cooper did because the budget, it's just not there at Swansea. It really isn't. But at Forest, it is. And you can clearly see what a great job Cooper is doing at the club. It's now our job, Luton, to stop that run happening. If we can get a win, we'll surprise a lot of people. We normally surprise a lot of people when people, don't think we're going to do anything. We normally surprise so many people. And it would be typical Luton, this season especially, when we lose against a team which we should have got points against, to then go and win the next game, which no one expects us to get points against. That is what's been Luton's season so far. People said it about Bournemouth. There's been a few other games as well. Stoke, Millwall, at times where people thought, nah, we ain't going to get points there. And we've proven a lot of people wrong. So we need to have that right mentality. We need to be on it from the whistle and literally go at Forest. They're there. Yes, they're there. They're going to be on form. But we're at home. You've got 3 home games left, 2 away games. You got to beat the teams around you if you want to get into those playoff places. That's really what you got to do. There's no point beating the teams that are nowhere near us. You've got to beat the teams around you as well. Otherwise, you're going to slowly climb out of those playoff places. And even if we do, it's still been a successful season. It'd just be a little bit frustrating one towards the end because we should have claimed a playoff place, because I feel like we've done enough, in my opinion, to claim one against certain teams in the division. But guys, that is the end of the video. If I'm going to give you a quick score prediction, I'm going to go with 2-1 Luton. I have a feeling that we're going to just surprise so many people. Regards to the starting 11, I feel like we need Berry and Clark in there. We need someone attacking in that midfield. Hopefully our defence is as strong as possible. And yeah, James Bree back at right wing back. I think that would be a good thing as well going forward. Although Fred has done a good job, I think Bree at right wing back would be so much better. But anyway, guys, that is the end of the video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. As I mentioned, drop a like if you did. Comment below your thoughts over the Huddersfield game. Do you think we are missing Clark and Berry? And also, give me your score predictions and your starting 11s for the game against Nottingham Forest. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I'll see you guys in the next video.